You are listening to SheKings with Erica and Allie. This is a podcast for peasants who don't want to live shitty lives. Every week we share insights on how to stop living out of habit and start living out of inspiration. So let's do this.
Boom. Go.
Thanks.
Allie's counting me in. This is our second attempt because Allie's going to have me read the intro today, and let me be quite clear, pretty bad. So, hey guys, welcome to SheKings, where every week we bring clarity to overused spiritual buzzwords and little known spiritual concepts so that you can live life with more freedom and ease. This is episode 11 of season 2. Boom. I did it.
Well, it's perfect. It comes out
so
perfect
good.
every single time. Yeah. Exactly how it's supposed to.
Yeah, so good. So, what's going on, girl?
Man, I don't know. It's everything's so quiet. It's just sessions are quiet. Everything's just quiet, super, super quiet. And so that's it's nice, but it's a little unnerving for me because I mean, we've got bills to pay.
Like, so people get in here.
And I'm used to just like it flow. Yeah, it's quiet. Super, super.
Yeah, I think that's the thing about doing your own thing. So we're talking about, let it be easy and reckless abandon.
Ignore
And guys,
episodes. Ignore them.
the shit gets real. What are the SheKings doing? What are they like meditating still? Are they still smiling?
They're panicking, like, tapping. Oh my god.
Oh gosh. It's really funny though. So this is so perfect for this episode because you're going to find out what it is that we actually do, because today we're going to talk about expansion. And so I'm super excited about that. And now we have a little bit of like super real context. But yeah, it's quiet for me too.
Yeah.
I'm really working with clients that I've been working with for a while, which is fun. And, as everybody who listens to us knows, I'm good with the quiet. I'm like, awesome. Because I've got nothing to give. So
Yeah.
I think, things just change.
It does.
Nothing stays the same. So enjoy the quiet.
Yeah. No, I'm excited for this episode too, because I do have some real life situations to share. Yeah. So the universe is laughing. I would like to go ahead and take that one.
Tell us.
We have our new little inputs, and one is the universe is laughing at you. It's just when we think we get comfortable and we don't need to expand. So Mark and I have been like really comfortable. Things have just been coming. We had a nice little stash, and then like shit just is. I wouldn't say falling apart, but coming up. Like his vehicle broke down, and so now he needs like a new water pump or something mechanically. Mark.
Oh,
Mark, my husband. Mark. But for the listeners and viewers, Mark's my husband. He's not the pool boy by any means.
A little bit though. That body right there.
Yeah.
Whoopsie daisy. Sorry about that. Pool boy here.
So yeah, when we get comfortable, and we're just like, man, if we could just write this out, if we could just do this, or what if we don't have to, we were talking about that, like, what if we don't do, A, B, and C? Because we had like these plans, like we're going to expand, we're going to do all this stuff. We're really going to put ourselves out there this year. And then we just got comfortable, even though I know it's still January.
Still January.
Still January, man. But we were in that mindset of let's just see, let's write it out. Let's just see what happens. And then shit just started. Nope. bleeding money, like hemorrhaging money. And so that's the universe's way of just like, oh, no, 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 like keep going, like not pushing it, but definitely keep the mindset of, no, we really actually got to move forward. We got to keep doing it.
Gosh.
Yeah. And it was happening the whole time. It's just like, ooh, and now I'm going to take your car.
Oh no.
We're going to break it. You put yourself out there.
Is that what the universe said? And I'm gonna break it. Like universe, like
I'm gonna break your car. Like, you know, when those cops in the movies come up to your car and it's like, I'm writing you a ticket for a broken taillight. You're like, what broken taillight? We're like, what expenses? We're doing good. And the universe like, take your car.
oh my gosh. And another glimpse into how Allie and I handle adversity. Why are we cackling? Why are we laughing? Like, it's so funny. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
You know, that's pretty funny. And I feel here's what I love about how you're handling this. When it rains, it pours. And, you know, I really like when people can get the joke. You know, it's like when that next thing comes, you can like throw your hands up to God and say, why hast thou forsaken me? Or you can just throw your head back and laugh your ass off. It's like, whatever.
Yeah.
Fine.
Cool. Let's do it. Yeah. And that's where after, we'll talk about that. And because this is what happened because of that, but that will be in our segment called.
So let's do the segment.
Our episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not expand? So why are we still doing the same thing if we're not happy, right? Like really not fulfilled. That is what episode 11 is all about. And I'm feeling it right now.
Yeah, no, I think that you and I spend so much time talking about doing the same thing when you're not happy. But I think it's an epidemic. You know what I mean? And so whether you're letting it be easy or you are, you know, forgetting about the criticism that might come as a as a result of you doing something, or you're living life with reckless abandon, that's really sort of the thing that we talk about. We want peasants, SheKings, to not live shitty lives, right? Like this is literally what we're talking about. And so why do we keep doing the same things? Easy peasy. Because we are going back to our old mind for new ideas.
I love that. Yeah.
You're going back to an old mind for new ideas. And the mind doesn't have them. It doesn't have them. Your mind is literally like a memorization tool, right? And so it's looking back, and you're presenting with the situation, is looking back, and it's like, let me go through my Rolodex of things that you know, we've seen that's similar to this. And then I'll give you a way to deal with it from my Rolodex of old shit that's already happened. But you want to do a thing. It's time to do a new thing. And so we're going to talk to you today about, in the end, how to get to the new thing.
Yeah. And if you think about it, that's why mastermind groups, community, those things are so popular and so important, because even if you have that desire, that passion, sometimes the idea, the inspiration isn't there. It's just not there. And then if you think of doing it on your own, it is exhausting. It's scary, to be honest. And so just having that support, however you want to find it, is everything. And it helps you expand.
It does. I think the issue is that when you stay to yourself, when you don't go and find community, mastermind groups, coaches, etc., then you find yourself dying energetically, right? You find yourself feeling like, is this all there is?
Yeah.
There's got to be more to life. Why can't I shake these patterns
Yeah.
of dealing with people who hurt me, of dealing with people who snub me, of um, finding out a new way to interact and be at work or with my family. Why can't I do it? It's because you're not bringing in that new energy.
Yeah. Yeah. Because we're energy beings. We give out energy, we take energy in. We need community. We were designed to be around other people, to do this whole co-creating thing. So there's so many reasons why people don't expand. And I'm coming into that one where um, for so many years, like I was the authority on what I do.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't expand.
Yeah.
But I've reached my, I don't even know what to call it. I've reached my capacity and now I'm not expanding. So now I have to start changing my story to be like, now I'm in the student, right? The role of the student. Now I'm going to find people who can teach me, that I can learn from, so I can start expanding. And it's not comfortable for me by any means, like to brainstorm with a group of people that I'm just like, I mean, whatever.
I got this from people. I don't really need any feedback from you. but
Yeah.
but I think that we are so interested in knowing, and we are so interested in being authorities, that and that's another reason why we find ourselves in that place where we're dying energetically, because you don't want to not know. You don't want to be the student. You don't want to be the subordinate. You want to be the boss. You want to be the number one. And that place, I mean, it might feel good, especially if you struggled for so long, to feel like you have a leg to stand on. But if you're the smartest person in every fucking room, that gets tired. How do you go? How do you expand? Where do you go to expand?
And this, I go back to this podcast that I've been listening to, and all of the really successful people, they make sure that they're the least knowledgeable person in the room. Like they don't want to hold that space of like people coming to them and asking, like they want to be like, ooh, let me learn from him, and him. Yeah. And that was really eye-opening. So I was like, okay, now I'm starting to get it. And it doesn't even have, for me, it doesn't even have to be in the coaching or the energy world. It can be like anything else, like how to scale the studio, or like how to advertise to get more people in, to get different clients in worldwide. So I'm doing this onboarding and branding thing. It's called Hero Smith here in Denver. And we tore 3 hours. We tore what I offer, like apart, and just got down to the nitty, like just nitty. And when it came down to it, he was just like, well, what I see here is that you don't offer anything special. I mean, like, I'm not saying that you're not special, but other people do Reiki, other people are clairvoyant, other people do tarot readings. Like, what do you do that nobody else does? And so he went through like Apple and Mercedes. Like 3 hours. And it's very humbling to sit there and just be like, okay, all right, this is how I need to change, not me, but my perception, and go out and just now become like a student, or at least be open to different feedback, different kinds of feedback.
I love that. And I think what I would add to that is, sometimes, you don't have the flexibility to go out there and be not the smartest person in the room or whatever it is. But you do, because you are always entering into rooms and you can always just shut the fuck up. One of my favorite things. You can always just shut up and listen to what other people are saying. You walk in, you think then you have just closed off the possibility that other people have these beautiful insights to share with you, these beautiful perspectives to share with you. So you can always not be the smartest person in the room, even if you're the only person in the room, right? Because the other option, when we talk about going to an old mind for new ideas, is to turn away from the mind,
Yeah.
you know, and just sit there, go back to our episode 8 of season 2, Teach Us to Sit Still, where we talk about the fact that new ideas will begin to arise from allowing yourself to sit in a quiet place. So there you're not going to mind, but you're going to actual spaciousness. You're going to God, you're going to spirit, you're going to soul. And God's got a whole bunch of ideas, right? And
Yeah.
yeah, boom. So, um, what does it take, Allie, to start to shift toward expansion and away from living a fearful life?
I mean, fuck. Expansion is fearful. It's fearful. Um,
Mm, I like that. That's true.
it is. 'Cause
It's
now,
it takes courage to move towards expansion, but
yeah.
I feel like you're already living in fear, right? And then it's like, but it's scary to also turn towards expansion.
Yeah. Um, because I've been doing this like for so long, and it's what I do. I'm good at it. And now I'm being asked to go out on a bigger, like just way bigger scale. And I'm like so scared. Like but I'm just like, but this is my comfort zone. Like, what if I put myself out there more, then people just be like, she's a fraud. Like, what is she talking about? But, and it's, so yeah, it is working those fears. So I'm going to tie in the universe's laughing at you incident. So Mark opened up his own company for the last couple years, and he's been, getting a few classes here and there to travel and teach. And so his car was the one that the universe kicked.
Yeah.
Take that. Mark does not ask for help. Like,
Mhm.
he does not ask for help. He just puts out his information, and he's like, you know what? People will contact me for classes, and it'll be great. Well, no one's contacting him for classes.
Yeah.
And yeah, and he needs to. We need to get some revenue flowing through this whole situation. And he woke up this morning, and I was sitting, and he comes in. He goes, "I did something so uncomfortable last night." And I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "I was up like at 1 in the morning," and he goes, "And I was panicking." He's like, "So I did some tapping and calmed it down." And he sent out emails literally asking for help. Like, I need you to book a class with me through my company so I can get it established, so I can get revenue flowing. I've already taught your school through this other company. You know who I am. You know how good I do. And he just basically said, please book a class with me. And he does not do that. So for him, that's expansion, man. Like, that is, oh, let me put myself out there, that vulnerability. But he's expanding, and now he feels different, everything about him. He's just like, okay, I did it. And he goes, and now he's in his office room slash office, sending out more of the same emails where he's just like, fuck it, I'm asking everybody for help. And I'm just like, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that, when we talk about expansion and what causes us to expand, it brings to mind that nice Nin quote. I just typed it in. And this is the quote. And the day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom. And I just think it's just so beautiful. And so that, this story of what Mark is going through is so spot on to that quote, and really spot on to why so many people get to a point where they're like, I've got to expand, because it's actually more painful to stay tight in the bud. It is more painful to stay doing what you're doing, which either it's not working for you physically out in this world, right? We need more income coming in,
Right.
or it's not working inside of you. It just it doesn't feel good anymore to always be an asshole when someone upsets you. It doesn't feel good anymore to keep the fight going on with your neighbor about, it's just like, you know what? Like, I need a new way to be. I have got to blossom because it is just too much pain to stay small anymore. So, oh,
I
I
love it.
love that. That's
It's so
so
funny because we're both going through the exact same thing. So I was called the end of last year to change up my structure and start working with groups and abused women, women of color, and that kind of changed the people of color, and that intimidates me a lot, like a lot. And so I put it out there and I was like, this is what I'm going to do. And then I get that fear bubbling up in me. And I'm just like, I mean, my coaching sessions are fine. I can just do those. And then the universe said, I'm just going to go ahead and turn those down a little bit. So you're not doing as many as you were, and you're going to have to do coaching. So
yes.
it's just, it is like we're both just being pushed to, yeah, to start blossoming and work through that uncomfortableness, man. It's like, so we get together at night and we do open a bottle of wine and we sit and we talk. And we're just like, let's do it. It's time. It's time.
Everything you're saying is just like this is like literally for the people, because even the opening of the bottle of wine, right? It kind of goes along with that because I have this client whom I love. I'm not working with her anymore, but whatever. People come, people come back. Hey, girl, you listening? Send me a note. Tell me hi. I miss you. But we would have this joke that when she's interacting uncomfortable situations, that she needs to be the drunk version of herself. Like, go out there and be drunk, you girl. Like, go be that girl. Because there's like a freedom to it, And I think, you know, when I'm working with a client, one of the things that I feel like really pushes people to step into that expansiveness is when you're like, stop being realistic, actually. Start being unrealistic. Start being what tipsy you would. I think about one Halloween. I'm a huge Halloween person, where I was dressed up like a cop, and it was like there's no identifier, and I was in Boston, and the thing I was wearing, Allie, this type of thing that a 20-year-old wears, okay? And I was a 20-something, okay? I was that girl, and I was in Boston. I walked up to a police officer, and I was like, "I'm Boston PD. I'm BPD. I'm BPD." And I was like, do you know how I know?" And he was like, "Oh God!" And like he had been getting it. Like it was just ridiculous out there. And I was like, "Let me show you." And I just walked away and flipped up the back of my skirt because I had on these like tiny little booty shirts that said Boston across the back. That said Boston across the back. And I was like, BBD. And he was like, "I cannot." But sober Erica, she didn't have those kinds of ideas. That was a great idea.
That was an awesome idea.
Great idea. Okay. Like right there.
To drunk Erica.
I'm not recommending that people get drunk, but just that idea. Just the idea of allowing yourself to think way far outside of the box is fantastic. Yeah.
I absolutely love that quote. We keep going back to an old mind for new ideas. Yeah. So my old mind is what I've been doing, right? Mark's old mind is what he's been doing. And it's like we can't, it's done. It's played out. It supported us for years and years and years, but now it's done. It's done. Yeah.
One of my favorite teachers, he puts it this way. He says, everybody is, so afraid of the unknown. But if you really want freedom, you've got to get free from what you know. Right?
Oh,
What?
Write that one in there too. Just loves this one.
Yeah, it's a freaking gem. And it's just that like all of these things are really just variations of, guys, the next time something comes up that's difficult for you, that throws you off, there's something in your life that is not working, that feels not fresh anymore, not new anymore, then the answer is not in your mind. It's not in you thinking about a way to do things differently, right? Because the mind only knows old things. It only knows what you've done. The answer is in what we said today, showing up in front of new people and letting them reflect back to you how you're being, new ideas. So masterminds, community, coaching, awesome ideas. It's in the silence and being quiet and letting something new arise. Or it's in the expansion of saying, universe, send me, what's the craziest thing that I could do, right? Get away from that realistic, this is the way it's always been done. Fuck how it's always been done. What have you really been aching to do? And now that I'm like rambling on about that, a lot of times the idea is already there. The new thing has already been given to you by the universe, but you're afraid.
Yeah.
You're afraid.
Yeah, and it's like when you're afraid, all these things come up, right? I don't have time. I don't have the resources. I don't. When you do.
Yeah.
You do.
I think that brings us to our homework, actually. And I would say for homework, unless you have something different, Allie, to ask yourself, where am I being called to expand? Where am I being called to expand? And follow that up with what is stopping me, right?
Yeah.
And what is stopping me, your excuse, whatever that is, that's where you want to expand. Oh, I don't have the resources. Well, let's get crazy. How can I do it with significantly less resources?
Yeah. Or how can I raise resources?
Absolutely. Wouldn't it be nice if this could get done no matter what? Like, wouldn't it be nice if I had this thing up and running in the next week, tomorrow? Get crazy. Get crazy. It's like us starting SheKings. We were like, oh, wouldn't it be fun? We started the next day. Like, all right, let's get on each other's schedules.
Yeah. And it can be also something as simple as if you have a feud with someone, like you said before, like a neighbor or a family member, that's where you need to expand for yourself, not to mend the relationship, not for it to look, well, for it to feel different. Your expansion is to be like, you extend the olive branch, you for yourself, right? And in that moment, you will expand.
Absolutely.
We have reasons, well, they started it. Nope, they need to apologize to me. It's like, ugh, all that. It's like, no, if you want to expand through this, you be the one who does this. Who cares what the reaction or the response is? That's not why you're doing it. You're doing it for you. So, I mean, there's huge expansions found in little things, just
Absolutely.
little actions, just huge. And so just, yeah, taking those and looking at them and be like, okay, this is where I can expand.
I love that. We're even called to expand. What's stopping you?
Mm-hmm.
And how can you like blow those things that are stopping you out of the water through expansion?
Exactly. And I love that you put, it does build confidence in yourself. So even just listening to Mark this morning, like after he just put his vulnerability, he's like totally like, he's confident. He's like, yeah, I'm asking everybody for help. And that's like such crazy confidence. So I'm just like, okay, that's so good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And these little movements, they give such great results. Also was just putting the energy out to the universe. The universe is like, oh, we're moving. Okay.
Yeah. It was waiting for you. I was just like, finally.
Let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. That's good. Good. This is such a good topic. And I think later down the road, we can even add to it and go a little bit deeper into it. But you guys do share with us your stories. So you took the concepts that we just shared with you, you applied it to somewhere in your life that you need to expand, and then share with us like what happened. And even if nothing happened, more importantly, like how did you feel, right?
Yeah.
So Mark doesn't know what happened yet with his asking, but I promise you, like how he feels is night and day. And then how you feel, you're kicking out a different frequency. And then the universe is like, ooh, let's match that frequency. So share with us. Like, I want to know. I want to know how this is working for you, for yourself.
And I would just add one more thing. Be open to the fact that the universe may be showing up with something completely different that matches your frequency.
Yep.
You ask for. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
I love it. Woohoo!
Boom.
Good topic. Good topic. All right, you guys, that is our episode 11. So thanks for tuning in. And you can reach me on all the things at Allie Duncan Be Seen on Instagram and Facebook. And if you want to work with me at IamAllieDuncan.com. And what about you, Miss Erica?
Erica Danielle Overshares on Facebook and Instagram. One day I'll be back there.
I know. You've been off it for so long. You're just like, what is it called? What is it called?
Yeah.
Instagram.
Listen, feels so good to be like out here floating in the stillness.
Oh.
And then ericadanielle.com to get on my schedule and read a little bit more about me. And yeah, I mean, Allie and I, we got space. So, like we talked about at the top of the show, just send us an email. Just say hi. Give us something to do out here.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And you guys, please go to YouTube. Leave us 5 stars. We have big ideas, big expansion ideas. Do you like what I did there?
Yeah.
For SheKings. So we need you to give us 5 stars, to write some reviews, to share us with your friends. We want to take this to online workshops and finally a retreat. So we want to pick it up and we need your help. We can't do it alone. So please do that for us. Yeah.
All right, beautiful people.
All right.
Then.
Go expand. Go expand yourself.